Hello students, in this video we are going to see the procedure and steps to perform our practical number 10. In practical number 10 we are going to create a simple calculator application using servlets. We know that servlets are Java programs that are run on Java enabled web servers and are used by the server to process requests coming from the client. We will proceed by creating a new dynamic web project in our Eclipse IDE. The procedure will be same as we have covered in practical number 7. We will create a new dynamic web project. We will name it DIT practical 10, and here dynamic web module version we will select as 3.1 and we will click on finish. In your project explorer window you will get your project structure, something as shown in the video. You all should get this structure, and under this we will be creating a new package in src main Java. We will name this package as com. Under com we will create our new class file which will be our servlet. So we will name our servlet as calculator servlet. In practical number 10 we are going to use HTTP servlet. It is in contrast with the generic servlet that we used in our practical number 7. We will copy the code from our lab manual. The servlet code is given there. HTTP servlet and generic servlet have the difference that HTTP servlet is used to work with HTTP protocol and generic servlet is not protocol specific. The overall procedure and the syntax is same. We will use HTTP servlet request interface as well as HTTP servlet response. Those are same as servlet request and servlet response that we used in practical number 7. HTTP servlet request interface is used to accept user request from the client side, and HTTP servlet response interface is used to write responses to the web page. We will be using the print writer object to write to our web page. If you see this type of error that Java x.servlet cannot be resolved, then we have to resolve it by following these steps. Go to project properties and then navigate to build path. Under build path select libraries, and then we have to click on add external jars. Now browse to the folder where you extracted your Apache Tomcat files and go to library lib folder and search for servlet.api and add it and click on apply and close. There is a small error here, Java X. Okay. So you can now see that the error has been resolved by adding the API. Now we will proceed to creating our HTML file. Under the second SRC folder, navigate to web app, right click it, click on new HTML file. We will now name our HTML file as index. This is our HTML file that we just created. Delete all this and now copy the code given in the lab manual. This code will be used to display our calculator application onto our web page. As you can see, we are giving some message to the client such as enter first number, enter second number, and we are providing options such as addition, subtraction, multiply and divide. The client will select an option and we will be performing the operation selected by the client. At this stage we can try running our HTML file. For this you need a Tomcat Apache server to be installed as shown here. The steps for installing this have already been discussed in earlier videos of practical number 4 and 7. So I won't be discussing it here. So my server is installed and we can now run our file. We'll select the Tomcat server that we have installed. And this is how our output will look. This is our index.html. The code that we have typed in this file here is displayed on the web page. Let's try running this. If we type two numbers, select addition and click on calculate, we'll get an error 404. This is because there is still no connection between the HTML page and our servlet code. We need to establish a connection between these two files, and we do so by creating a web.xml file. To do so, right click on web.inf folder, click on new, select other, and search for XML. Click on the XML file option, and we'll name our XML file as web. Now in this file we have to do two things. We have to define our servlet and we have to map it to a URL. So the syntax for this code is given in the lab manual. Okay, this is our first part. Here we'll be defining our servlet. We'll provide a servlet with a name. The name of our servlet will be Kelsey, and here we'll provide its class path. The class path is com.calculatorServlet. Next, we have to map this servlet with the class file. We'll do so by using the URL pattern tag. Under servlet mapping, we'll again recall the name of our servlet, and under URL pattern tag, we'll type my srv as the URL. The URL denotes the address of the web page where the servlet will display its response. So in our HTML code, we need to change the action attribute. We'll provide action attribute as myServ. It denotes where the data of this form will be submitted. Next, to resolve this error, we'll simply add web app tag here. So we will just add the web app tag. Okay. We need to modify our servlet code a little bit. In our print writer, I'll just modify the println code and add one heading there just to display the result properly. Next, we need to change the code for our if condition a little bit. Change it as shown here. The condition will be if operator dot equals plus. For addition, it will be if operator dot equals minus. For subtraction, operator dot equals multiplication sign for multiplication, and so on. For we will also need to modify our HTML code a little bit. For entering the first number, we will change the name to num1, because in our servlet code we have written it as num1, and for number 2 we'll change it to num2. For operator, we'll change it to op. These variables should match in HTML and servlet code, since we are acquiring these parameters based on these variable names. For simplification, I have pasted the entire code for our practical number 10 in my Pastebin account. If you click on practical number 10, you will find the entire code. The link for the Pastebin account is in the description. I also uploaded it on Google Classroom. So this is the corrected code for our practical number 10. You can copy it directly from here. Now we'll try running our application using our Apache Tomcat server, and this is how we'll get the output. So we'll enter two integers, click on addition and calculate. Same way for subtraction, we are getting the result. For multiplication also, we are getting the result. For division also, we are getting the result. The result is in the form of an integer. So this was all about the practical. If you have any queries, you can comment below. Thank you.